real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on Wednesday. Sorry, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And happy birthday, Faith Evans. This song reminds me of 98 and roller skates. I believe they were skating in the video. So this has been a roller skate jam. I like it. It's a nice little groove to get us ready for summertime, which we're in. All right. You know this is the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines, but it's Wednesday, so that means tonight we are all up in the business. And I mean the real business, not just who posted what, who clapped back, who looked cute courtside, although we will discuss. We're talking World Cup tickets, hotel rooms, NBA Finals sticker shock, beauty brands, growing pains, and, you know, LeBron is talking about retirement. It's circling the drain. And we're going to get into Jay-Z possibly stepping into Rihanna's Fenty Beauty empire through his MarcyPen Capital Partners. So that's what's on deck for tonight. And, of course, you know, joining me on Wednesdays for All Up in the Business is our guest contributor, Damon Haley, right? Because these are the stories we need where someone can talk culture, money, sports, and public perception without pretending they, you know, have an expertise. So shout out to that. But listen, before we get into all of that, World Cup, it's starting. Do you feel it? I don't here in LA, but America has the event, but does it have the fever? It's not really looking that way. The early business story is not just soccer, it's whether America is priced to party like the Super Bowl at World Cup. And it doesn't feel like it. So they're running into a very American problem. Premium pricing, soft enthusiasm, and a fan base that may not be as emotionally invested as the spreadsheet likely assumed they would be, right? So this Thursday, it kicks off in Mexico City with the expanded tournament now featuring 48 teams, 104 matches across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. But U.S. host cities are reportedly showing softer hotel demand than Canada and Mexico. Hotel bookings have been stronger in places like Vancouver, Canada, Guadalajara, Toronto, Mexico City, Monterrey, etc., right? And there's a significant unsold ticket inventory as the tournament gets ready to kick off just one day away. And pricing is the major friction point. FIFA has defended its ticket model with the group stage seats. They're starting at $140, and finals tickets are listed at the extremely high resale levels. You know, how resales can get, right? So after the backlash, FIFA offered 130,000 discounted $60 tickets to national federations for regular supporters. But there's also an interest gap, and a late May poll reported that half of U.S. adults said they were unlikely to watch any World Cup matches, while only 13% said they were absolutely certain to watch. So there's not only the interest, we know there's the little ICE situation that hangs out in America, and the World Cup is the biggest sporting event on earth. But America's sports calendar is pretty crowded. It's expensive enough. And it's tied to emotions, right? It's tribal. The NFL, NBA, March Madness, college football, we already have a great deal to dig into. So FIFA and the U.S. host cities, they might have, had too much dip on their chip, per se, right? Because the public's not acting like it's Super Bowl out there. And soccer enthusiasm in the U.S. is uneven. It's rising. There's some places where it's extreme, not extreme in a bad way. But I don't know. Andy?
I'll say despite ICE, I think you're going to get more, engagement from folks around the world than Americans, for the most part. The enthusiasm is going to come from non-Americans that's going to travel over here to watch those games.
Indeed. And since we're talking ticket prices and we know Knicks and Spurs are in play at the moment, a nosebleed seat at Madison Square Garden for the 1999 NBA Finals reportedly cost around $60. In 2026, a comparable upper-level seat for Knicks Spurs Game 3 was listed at $6,700. And that tells you everything about what has happened to live sports. Live sports have gone from community spectacle to luxury inventory, and for the regular fan, it's being priced into nostalgia. So it's a lot happening. When we come forward, we're going to get all up in the business. Jay-Z might be coming to save Rihanna's company. All that and more. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Everybody can't go. Downtown Diamond District jewelers like yo. Hustle, holla at me, I got Cubans on the low. Through the Cancun, smoking Cubans on the boat. Then dock that Tulum just to smoke. Look, listening to music at the Mayan ruins. True devotion on the bluest ocean. Cruising. My cultural influence, even revolution. I'm integrated vertically, y'all. Blew it. They tell me hustle, dumb it down, you might confuse me. It's like that weirdo rap, you motherfucking.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Let's celebrate. Y'all did it. Loving each other, needing each other.
Hey, Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580 is turning 5, and we're celebrating in a big way.
Oh my God!
Join us Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Beehive for our 5th anniversary bash and Juneteenth celebration. We're talking surprise celebrity guests, a special presentation, and a major announcement you will not want to miss.
I can't wait to hear it.
Plus, live music, dancing, games, and enough food and drink to keep the party going.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Of course, you're welcome to bring your own picnic basket, blanket, and lawn chair. And the best part, it's completely free. But here's the thing. You've got to sign up in advance. Space is limited, so don't wait. Head to KBLA1580.com right now and lock in your spot. Friday, June 19th, The Beehive, KBLA Talk 1580. 5 years strong, and we're just getting started.
Happy anniversary, KBLA! Yeah, man!
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Cheer. Rihanna. Good girl going bad. Take 3. Action. Ho. No clouds in my stones. Let it rain. I hydroplane in the thing coming down like a Dow Jones. When the clouds come, we gone. We Rockefeller. We fly higher than weather, and cheap vibes are better. You know me. In anticipation for precipitation, stack chips with a rainy day. Jay, Rain Man is back with Little Miss Sunshine. Rihanna, where you at?
You have my heart, and we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you still be my star. Baby, 'cause
Welcome in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Rihanna, man. She has a new spread. The pictures are on her Instagram. She's out and about in New York. Probably not headed back to LA. But remember, this haircut changed the game. And thank you, Andy, because it goes so well with the topic we'll soon get into. But before we do that, 800-920-1580. That's the number that you can call to get in on the conversation. You can also hit us up on social media. KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere, or hop into the YouTube chat with the VIPs. Shout out to them. Get the visual to go along with this audio experience. Now, since we're talking about a couple of beauty brand topics tonight, it's fitting, because we get all up in the business anyway, that an owner of a beauty brand is in the building to help us break down these topics. We have in the building, because you know it's Wednesday, author, business strategist, entrepreneur, owner of Glow and Flow Beauty and Slay Hair 3Ys, Mr. Damon Haley. Welcome back, DH.
Hey, what's up? Happy Wednesday. What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Jill, Andy? I see you.
Okay, so listen, before we get into the beauty brand stuff, we got to talk about the other side of your strategist life. I just talked about the World Cup and the soft ticket sales and hotel room bookings here in America. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that one, it's going to be a tough grind to match like what other countries deliver. Just what soccer, football with the U and 1 O means to the rest of the world, and that country pride. So if you think about it, I would challenge any listener to say, who's the best U.S. soccer player right now? We don't know who that is. I would even say, name 3 people on the USA national team. We probably can't do it.
Couldn't tell you.
And so there's no fandom. MLS doesn't mean as much over here as it does, you know, all the different classes and different leagues that you would have in Europe and down in Brazil. So it just doesn't mean as much to the U.S. But as Andy shared, I think it'll start picking up by the time the championships come around.
Right.
You know, because July 1st is when it starts. July 19th is when it ends. So we have like a whole month, and just in North America, it won't mean a whole lot, but it'll start brewing up, and that's when people outside the country will get excited about their teams, and then that's when all of us will get excited.
All right.
Because it's on fire down in Mexico City.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. All right, so we are talking about a couple of beauty brands tonight and some business moves that is happening out there. So first up, Jay-Z's venture capital company, MarcyPen, they are looking into purchasing Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. LVMH has been letting go of some of the brands. That's Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy. They are a French-based company, and they own Rihanna's Fenty brand. Well, they own part of it, majority of it.
Share,
Yeah. And so they are exploring opportunities to separate themselves from the brand. Now, there's a couple of things that could happen. Rihanna could take and buy back her interest and own it again 100% outright. But there are venture capital companies that can come in and give funding and save the day. We've seen that happen with a lot of companies. So Jay-Z's MarcyPen Capital Partners reportedly are emerging as the leading contender for the 50% stake in Fenty Beauty, right? That's a cultural capital power move, seems like. It's not just Jay-Z might buy into Rihanna's brand. It's that, a culturally fluent cap table wants ownership in brands that changed consumer behavior, right? Fenty Beauty launched in September 2017 through a partnership between Rihanna and LVMH's Kendo brands. They each own 50%. And the brand obviously instantly changed the beauty industry with their 40 Shade Foundation launch, more pigmented color in their shadows and blushes and lip glosses, range. The diversity consumers have been craving for years, right? In October of 25, it was reported that LVMH was exploring the sale of its 50% stake. Fenty Beauty reportedly generates about $450 million in net sales, last noted in 2024, and it's been valued at somewhere between $1 and $2 billion. So, MarcyPen was formed in 2024, and it's through the merger of Marcy Venture Partners and Pendulum Opportunities. That's the name of the firm. And they've been moving deeper into the consumer brands, and its portfolios now include beauty and consumer companies like Merit Beauty and Rail. So this would be a major industry shakeup, obviously, and historically, Marcy Venture Partners, say that 3 times fast, who's been known for smaller investments at growth stage, not billion-dollar beauty transactions. This deal would be huge and would represent a very different level of capital deployment. So DH, there's a lot there. This is why Wednesdays are all up in the business, because the headline is cute, but the cap table tells the story. And, we talked about why Fenty Beauty was important to the culture and the beauty industry. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, she definitely opened it up because she was able to say there's multiple shades between white and black, and there's 40 of them that you can all exploit and take dollars against globally. And so that was a big major shift. And so now LVMH, it has been reported that they look into, a buyer, because they're an investor, right? And so I think with MarcyPen, it is a bigger size investment that they're used to getting, but that doesn't mean that they can't get more money, because that's what smaller entities do. They partner with, big bank take little bank. We don't have enough bank for this one, so do you want to come and join us? So I don't think that it's insurmountable for them to come up with the money. I think the biggest thing is, given their portfolio, can they get a return on investment? Because that's where LVMH says, hey, we'll do this beauty thing because of our portfolio of luxury and Rihanna and all that kind of stuff, and they were able to really grow it. The question is, does it have anything left to grow even more, because that's why LVMH is getting rid of it.
Right.
You know, and not in a bad way, but they just like growing stuff, you know, 2x versus 80% return, so to speak. So I think it's a big good one for MarcyPen. I think it's a good one for Jay and his group to do this and see what they can do with it.
So to your point, LVMH gave Fenty scale, infrastructure, which people underestimate how important that can be in the process, a path into Sephora, and, you know, global beauty credibility, as you mentioned, because they are this luxe brand. So
because when they come knocking, you got to be real careful before you say no.
Right. Because, you know, MarcyPen, of course, would bring a different type of value. Like you mentioned, they're smaller. So there's the cultural intelligence that is probably already laced in there, I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big purchase. So you really got to say, what do we have that the world hasn't seen yet that we can capitalize on? That I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not certain. But we know LVMH, all of their stuff, nobody's going to say no. It's kind of like with Nike. You're going to take the crappy shoes with the Jordans.
Right,
and so what MarcyPen, we don't need a lot of more. We don't need a whole lot more cultural capital on this one because it's already established. So what does this MarcyPen group, ownership, leadership, that will take this and take it to the next level? That's what, if I'm somebody to give them more money, that's what I'd be thinking about.
It's interesting because we've seen Jay-Z in music, spirits, sports, tech, cannabis, art, consumer investments. But this would put him in prestige beauty. Well, not him personally, but
I mean, it's public knowledge who's running MarcyPen. It's a dude named Robbie,
right?
You know, and he used to consult the Obamas, so he's a money guy.
Okay,
you know, and so once again, this is a paper play, not an infrastructure play or anything like that, because all of that's already there.
So is it kind of like, remember we were discussing Byron Allen last week, and not an asset like, you know, he sometimes buys that are at the time are devalued, but he buys them not necessarily with the intention to tinker with it, just to have that asset. Is that kind of what this feels like?
Well, it seems like it fits with MarcyPen in terms of diverse ownership, for one. Obviously, there's a relationship with Rihanna. They probably were part of the front end of the deal. And so that's what it really feels like, because this is unlike anything that MarcyPen has ever had to maneuver, has ever had to go out and buy and run and create an ROI. Because what they do is they still do investment. So you're going to have to find somebody to run it. All the people, all the advisors to replace the LVMH people who have decades of making a business like this work.
So, well, we're going to switch topics but stay in the beauty lane, because on the other side of this conversation, shout out to Terry in the chat, says don't give Jay-Z not a dang thing. Listen, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her name. Olamide Olowe? Olamide. Okay, thank you. Olamide Olowe. Is that right? Okay. She created the Topicals brand. It is a huge brand. It's made millions of dollars. And she, as a founder, moved into a stage in her career where she wanted to acquire brands. So she made the play to acquire Bred Beauty, which is Black owned. And it is a beauty skincare makeup line, skincare brand. And obviously she built one of the most talked about skincare brands, right? Recently, not long ago, recently. But she came out on social media and publicly admitted that the Bred Beauty Supply's new gel launch, because there's a hair aspect to this too, almost had no sales. And she gave some very transparent founder honesty, right? So not just a flop story, but a business lesson about brand identity and founder pressure, and the danger of assuming that one viral playbook can save a completely different community. So she spoke out on her Instagram, and she obviously, Sephora's success story. She built strong cultural traction, skin conditions, bold marketing, community first, very nice packaging. I love their packaging. And she acquired Bread Beauty Supply through her holding company, cost of doing business. And on Instagram and TikTok, she spoke about the struggle to revive the brand after the launch of their Slick Hold Gel. In the TikTok, she admitted that the launch was absolutely flopping and said the product had almost no sales. She said that she basically spent her life savings trying to revive the brand and ask consumers for honest feedback. In her own diagnosis, she tried to apply what worked for her Topicals brand to Bread. But Topicals and Bread are definitely not the same brand. And it's not the same emotional language around it, you know, and not necessarily the same type of consumer relationship. So when we come forward, we're going to get into a couple of the key business issues that she discussed. Sort of wrong playbook. What works for a loud, high-energy skincare brand may not work for a softer, minimalist hair care brand. It is hair care. Skincare is obviously Topicals. Pardon that. And the identity drift that can come along with that, and how you can expand your product offering, your brand building, and do it in a way that works, I guess, for lack of a better term. We'll get into those details when we come forward.
Got this dress for you. Got it cause I know what you like. I love you. Good and bad, thick and thin, flaws and all. And if you're ever in the wrong, I'll let you know. Yeah, I know that love is unpredictable, but I'm pretty damn sure that this is the kind of love that keeps me up all night. This is what I wanna do for the rest of my life. This is something that can get every bit of my time. This is what they call real love, real love, real love.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Texas teen Carmelo Anthony has been sentenced to 35 years in prison for the fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco high school track meet last year. Many protesters outside the courthouse reacted after the jury returned the sentence in the racially charged case.
I feel like it was designed to protect white people, the system, and it was not designed to protect black people.
Anthony must serve at least half of his sentence before he's eligible for parole. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass's brother is suing the city after losing his Malibu home in the 2025 Palisades fire. Kenneth Bass and his wife claim they suffered smoke inhalation, emotional distress, and property loss. And Black South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn is one step closer to another term in the U.S. House. Clyburn won the Democratic nomination in Tuesday's primary and will face Republican John Peterson in November. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Wild Rivers is now open daily with over 25 slides and attractions for thrill seekers and lazy river chillers. Visit wildrivers.com for great values on season passes and daily tickets. That's wildrivers.com. Wild Rivers, where there's sun and fun for everyone.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The debate on who's the greatest player of all time in NBA history is picking up steam again, and LeBron is very clear on his number one choice. In an interview with Time Magazine, LeBron was asked the GOAT question. Here's what he said, and I quote, "I'm not taking nobody over me. There's no question." Translation, LeBron is ready to claim the GOAT title over Michael Jordan, his longtime idol, and the one player consistently in GOAT discussions with LeBron. Interesting position taken by LeBron, who up until now has deflected GOAT questions and is routinely said that he and Jordan both have had lasting impacts on the game. The conflict between the U.S. and Iran has made its way to the World Cup. 14 staff members who were supposed to travel with their Iranian soccer team to the U.S. for the World Cup were denied visas. Iran plays New Zealand Monday at SoFi. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
There is no denying that we've always been the conscience of this country. KBLA Talk 1580 is progressive talk radio built for our community, by our community, and with hosts who look like you, live near you, and care about what you care about. 50,000 watts of truth right here in Southern California. KBLA Talk 1580. Listen live on your AM radio dial at 1580 or stream us live on our KBLA1580.com website or on our free KBLA 1580 app.
Unapologetically progressive.
We don't do ordinary. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. We continue our look at what is happening and what is not happening along the Destination Crenshaw corridor. Last time we talked about the promises made to this community. Today we talk about the reality on the ground, and it is not pretty. Let's start with something as basic as a visit to the vet. Customers of the local veterinary clinic right next door to this studio are forced to park blocks away and carry their sick and injured animals through conditions that no pet owner or sick animal should have to endure. Why? Because the construction has blocked access to the vet's parking lot for years now. The vet is losing clients, the vet is losing revenue, and frankly, who can blame these customers for not coming back? This is but one example of a small black-owned business being quietly strangled, and nobody at City Hall seems to notice or care. And the conditions along this corridor, they are not just an eyesore, they are a health hazard. Unsanitary conditions and repeated health code violations are doing exactly what you would expect, inviting vermin into our neighborhood, rodents, pests, the kind of infestation that does not stay in one place. It spreads into homes, into restaurants, into our daily lives for years now. Then there is this. The houseless are finding refuge in the construction cubbyholes and unfinished spaces left wide open along this project. These are precious human beings, to be sure, in desperate situations. But this is also a safety and liability crisis that the city created and has yet to address for years now. In our prior editorial, trying to save some space for grace, we did not call his name. But after a full week of running the editorial hourly, highlighting the myriad delays, business losses, health violations, safety concerns, and more, we have heard absolutely nothing from City Council President Marquise Harris Dawson. Nothing. Not a word. The council member who represents this district has gone silent. You see why we call this project Procrastination Crenshaw? And so I repeat, Crenshaw deserves better. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
And anything you want is
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. I need the internet and Sid to drop some more music. This was a vibe. What was this? Like 2017? Was it that long ago? 2015. So, shout out to the internet. You know, vibing. All right, listen. It is Wednesday. You know, this is where we get all up in the business. We give you the strategy behind the business headlines of sports and entertainment. And of course, joining me is Damon Haley, business strategist, author, entrepreneur. Running that theme music back for you.
Yeah.
Chick better have my money.
She better.
All right, listen. Oh. Who? I'm just playing. So we were talking about Topicals and their CEO having a really honest moment on social media about the acquired Bread beauty supply hair brand. You're not exactly in the same hair industry, but relatable. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on what she said and the revelations?
I think she was honest, which I appreciate, and she was just really sharing what's real, meaning that the way you do skincare is different than hair. The way you identify and what skin means is just different than hair. So it really requires two different voices or two different mechanisms to carry a voice, but also you have two different brands that act a different way that people relate to in a different way. So her topical stuff was loud, in your face, kind of, we hear in the space. Bread wasn't really like that. So it just required something different, you know. And so I think she now knows it because she thought she can use the same playbook on each. You really can't, you know. Like I said, skincare and hair care is just totally different. And then that's different than makeup, you know. And so there's different voices. And that's where I learned just with being at Glow and Flow. When people come in and shop one thing, it's a different tonality and a need than shopping another thing. And so she probably didn't know that because she was dug in on Topicals. But then when she took a risk, she took a chance, tried to expand, which I give her credit for. She just said, hey, it's different stuff here. You know, I'm sure Procter & Gamble, that has tons of different brands, has to speak different and act different and different kind of platforms that you perform on.
Well, you go through that, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You've worked on brands, and then obviously you have two brands that are related but separate. They can't encompass each other, but they're obviously two different brands. So how do you work through that when you're working and laying out a plan to bring to market or bring a new product within to market? How do you kind of,
you know, it's funny with my AI, I've gotten into giving my AI a role first. Okay. So now I have to give myself a role. So I have to go on bus stops. I have to go around where women are and ask. And I
travel.
I got to do that market travel. And I had to get outside of myself and what I believe and get into where they believe and meet them where they are. So half the stuff like creative that I put out there, I don't just do it unilaterally. I got to ask a woman. I got to ask, you know, I use 20 to 40-year-old, and those are different women, you know. So now I have to find a good soft spot so I'm not doing 3 different activations, that I can do one and then cheat a little bit, you know. And so I think that's what you have to do. So she could have talked more with people and their relationship with hair and how they engage their hair, and how do I need to talk to you in order to gain trust and be a friend of the brand. So you just have to do that.
So do you think right now, because there's so many different beauty brands and you know, makeup lines, skincare lines, products, tools, do you think that we're at a point to a degree where consumers are overwhelmed with their choices and that makes marketing harder?
Yeah, overwhelmed, yes. What's the difference? You know, because that's really what you're trying to do. And you do have to spend more money, you know, to really get your message and get through, you know, not just be noisy, but play music to the ear, you know, because that's what's going to get you over the top. So you have to be very precise in knowing who you are as a brand, what the real benefits of your product are, And who is your core consumer? Not just aiming for the target, which has blue, black, yellow, and red on it, but the bullseye.
My product works for everybody.
The bullseye. I always say, if I want chicken, don't take me to McDonald's because they serve nuggets.
I know that's right. One thing I'm making aside, Andy, has Wu-Tang performed yet? Shout out to Wu-Tang Clan performing at halftime.
Still second quarter.
Okay, and the score? I'm just asking because I'm concerned.
I don't think Knicks fans want to even know the score right now.
Oh.
59-34.
Woo!
You know Madison Square Garden is a publicly traded.
It's silent. Well, based on Wu-Tang, shout out to the real Uncle Drew.
Big ups to that.
For the shoes.
So, do you think that as a founder, being this transparent, does it risk making consumers lose confidence in a brand? Or do they feel more respected because you're talking to them about these things?
I think you feel more respected, I would say. Somebody told me a long time ago, people love a Harvard failure because they smart and they've did the path. They don't know the path, they've walked the path. So if someone did something bad, it's like, if a drug addict can really talk to a drug addict because the drug addict knows what the drug addict is thinking.
Right.
So with her, I don't think she's going to make the same mistake twice. I think she's going to be better, stronger, and more relatable, etc. So I think that's what I see when someone tells the honest truth.
Shout out to that. I know she said that one of the things that she was going to be doing was more community events, smaller ones. She said that means more money, but she's committed to the brand. So.
And that's where it really starts. You got to get down with your community. You got to build community and you got to build that trust and then go from there. So I think she's saying all the right things. I hope she does have enough money to revive it. And we don't know. We don't know if it's a good product or what have you. And sometimes you got to leave well enough alone. So when you acquire something, no different than we talked about with the MarcyPen or whoever acquires, you got to make sure it fits within your portfolio and what your strengths are to really, blow it up.
I mean, but the assumption would be, I'm sure with her, I'm not saying she said this, I'm just thinking it. I'm a black woman. I use hair products. I know how to talk to this audience that was primarily women of color.
I would think that she is saying that, and now she's finding out it's a big difference because some people just want to keep her with topicals. Versus her spreading herself out or what have you. Just because you're a founder doesn't mean that you need to be the spokesperson. Because I'm not in any of the Slay stuff.
Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. It makes sense.
I'm behind the scenes, and so I got 49% of it. So
when we come for more trending topics and headlines, you're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Easy money, occupation, first class psychiatry. But just once I wanna make love without taking off my clothes. Just once I wanna make love with somebody who really and truly knows. Contrary to rumor, chicken knows, getting on it too.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know that $60 billion are lost every year to Medicare fraud?
If someone has been a victim of healthcare fraud, the more we talk about that this occurs, older adults will feel more comfortable about sharing their experience.
It's not about someone not being smart enough or not paying enough attention. Falling victim to fraud can happen to anyone.
If I've been scammed, if I've experienced it, and I'm angry about it, and I want to do something about it, then I have an opportunity to volunteer and share with other people, here's what happened to me, but it doesn't have to happen to you.
Medicare fraud hurts people, it hurts Medicare, and we need your help to make a difference.
It's powerful to be able to address an issue like Medicare fraud, and being a volunteer for SMP gives you that power to do it.
If you have passion and dedication and want to be of service, we'd love to have you join our team.
For more information or to volunteer, visit californiasmp.org.
If you're an African American mom who is pregnant or have a baby under 6 months old, you deserve care that lifts, listens, and lasts. Black Infant Health is for you. It's a free program with individual support, group sessions, and resources to start your mothering journey. BIH makes space for moms and their families to create community. Learn more about the programs in Los Angeles County. Check us out at blackinfanthealth.org.
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to 1982. Or was it 81 on this drop? The time, the black and white album cover, the red lettering. 1981. I was close. It was somewhere around there. 6 songs on this album. I can probably name them all. Cool, Get It Up, Stick, High School. I can't remember the last 2. What? I said Get It Up first. I said Get It Up because that's my favorite. You. Me and You. I don't know.
Girl.
Oh, that's right, Girl. Oh, girl. Yeah, I remember it. So 6. That's it. And most of the songs were, that's when songs were long because we were just coming off the disco era. And you said trivia?
What's the longest song on that album?
It's probably Get It Up, and it's probably like 8 or 9 minutes.
Wrong.
What is it?
Cool, 10 minutes.
Okay, well.
Wow. 10 minutes.
Listen. Not bad. Just from memory, from an album that dropped 40 plus years ago. Shout out to me. 43. No, 45. Jeez, 45 years ago.
You know Jerome be over there at the Home Depot on Slauson.
Doing what?
He like a homeowner. He know his stuff too.
Oh, so he's over there buying stuff too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
There's
He's
a lot
been in Glow and Flow a couple times.
Okay, so I was just saying doing what? Because there's, a lot of things that happen outside of that Home Depot that can help you, if you're looking for alternate ways to build your stuff up. So that's why I was confused and I had to ask.
Oh, no. He's in there. I've seen him over the years. He lives in Ladera.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, he's a neighborhood guy.
All right. Well, big ups to that. Well, listen.
Mike's Deli, too. I've seen him in Mike's Deli. He be around.
A lot of people be in Mike's Deli.
That's
though.
true.
Shout out to that. All right. Well, listen. Last story of the night. Time has named their 100 most influential people in sports. And they have named one LeBron James as the athlete of the century. Right? And so this was a wide-ranging conversation. But in it, two things thus far have the internet going. One, when asked about retirement, because we know LeBron just completed his 23rd season in the NBA, seems like a perfect number to retire on. But LeBron said, when it stops being fun, when he doesn't enjoy it anymore, that's when it's time to retire. So basically a non-answer. He still believes in his worth. He's not ready to shut it down. And that means he wants a big ass check. Excuse me. Oops, bleep. So, I don't know. And then he discussed nepotism, right? And he said he is fine with people debating whether Bronny belongs in the NBA, but do not turn that conversation into an attack on his fatherhood. He said the Bronny debate is about legacy, nepotism from a black POV, because it's not a conversation that we have a lot around nepotism and black people, right? Black fatherhood. And, sports fans are interesting at times. They are. So he said that his greatest accomplishment of his basketball life came with playing alongside Bronny. And that, he was fine with the discourse about the critiques as basketball, but don't come for his family. And he said that Bronny earned the right to be a professional athlete, and that the most important thing that he wants people to understand is that he is a father. He does not play about his fatherhood, that he was a present father. He indicated a lot of people can't say that, and that this is his legacy, right? And we know this conversation has gone far, wide, and deep, but two ends of the spectrum kind of covered in that conversation. Damon, where do you think, one, is Bronny signed through the Lakers through next season regardless?
I don't think so.
So both Bronny and his dad are free agents. Do you think that they continue to be a package deal? And do you think that LeBron would go quietly and just wake up and say, sorry?
I don't think he would wake up quietly and say, I don't think so. He just means too much to the game. I mean, he's been playing since 2003. What's that? Put him at 23 years. It's just so much vested in him right now. So it would be really unfair for him to go away, and I just don't think he has that sensibility. So he's going to go out very, very graciously like some of the greats have. And we haven't, like a Dirk Nowitzki did, or a Tim Duncan, people who've kind of played those 20 years and have been like multiple MVPs, Kobe, all that kind of the Kobe out, right? So he gets to do that, and I think he will do that. If he doesn't do that, that's just so much. That's so much hate that'll be, associated with that, and he's not that type of guy. So
I think people would be mad and
hate
him if he did that?
You want to celebrate Time's best athlete of the century, whether it's real or not. That's what they think. He's always in a GOAT conversation. He wants to be celebrated because there's no one else behind him.
Yeah, that's true.
So that has to happen. I mean, if it doesn't happen, people will not feel fulfilled. So, yes. And then Bronny, I mean, Bronny's a second-round pick that has done okay, you know, playing. So will somebody else pick him up? Yes, he's good enough to play in the NBA. And, yes, he's going, I want to sell tickets using him. So he can go somewhere independently and be okay because of the last name.
Do you think that they will separate next season?
That I don't know. You know, I'm not going to speculate because I get real information before the rest of the world gets it.
We know you're connected. You're on the phone with these people.
Yeah, I mean,
all the time.
It's kind of tough to say because I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't heard, you know, about the free agency. I just haven't heard anything. Probably, you know, when the finals are over and people are shifting, then the conversation, because then you got to put your team together, you know, that kind of stuff, and then you start hearing real information. But I don't know. I think it's okay. I would love to see Bronny split up just out of curiosity.
I would too.
I would like to see that, and for his own kind of independence. Yeah, as a dude, like I like the Bryce went to Arizona. I like that move.
Well, where's Bryce going to be now? Because he got jumped in the portal. Well, he redshirted and then jumped in the portal.
Yeah, but I like it. I mean, think about it. You could have easily stayed home and went to USC or somewhere, and for him to do that. So I like that kind of stuff when people take on themselves.
Listen, that is it for the night. Damon Haley on Instagram. That's where you can find him. Any final words before we get out of here, DH?
Watch the World Cup. You might find something new about it.
Watch the World Cup in July. Shout out to the World Cup. All right, you guys.
Watch the opening ceremonies though. Those are great.
Okay, big ups to that. Yeah. Maybe. I'm just like, I like soccer. All right, listen, more facts, context, and culture coming your way tomorrow. Up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Have a good night.
You miss me as I put it down right down, babe. I can put you on a flight. You know that a girl like me can change your life, oh baby. Everything you do is amazing. Ain't nobody got to go crazy. I got what you need. Everybody think you shy, but I know you a freak, little baby. Everything you do is amazing. Ain't nobody got to go crazy. I got what you need. Everybody think you shy, but I know you a freak, little baby. I've been overseas going crazy. I could tell you love it when we made up. Black and gray diamonds like a radar.